Give me a 1. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's staying warm. Uh, Roll call. Hey, Miss Sue, Miss Joanne, Blues, Mark D, Wedge, Duty, Bear. Glad you're here. Oh, let's see. I had to drop completely out of YouTube to get the sound to go. There's Bryce, Mr. Charlie. Okay. Now, all right. Oh, where to begin? All right. As most of us know, we got screwed over by Vault. And some more than others. I know. And I've got receipts. Yeah, set this up here so y'all can see on the date 1/27/23, where I helped pay the other one, another, another. That's supposedly when he was in the hospital. But after going over it, that's $13,000 right there. That a lot I didn't show, and some of it was because, like when the farm first came up, uh, he asked me to help, and I told him I'd help pay for most of it if I could. He said if I did that, he'd make me put me on the lease along with Jeremy and him. Okay, I go out there anytime I wanted. So everything's going good. And believe me, that farm, yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on out there. And it was weird. But later on this past year, when the landowner died, was he said Jeremy's been faking stuff. Because if everybody remembers all those little stick structures that popped up when I was out there. Well, when Vault, Cat, Cobra come down, we knocked all of them down, burned them. Vault, after that, Vault said not to go back out with Jeremy. He's been faking stuff. That after he had burned all those sticks, he caught Jeremy on camera going back out there and putting new sticks up. And he knew I do not believe in being associated with being faked. I will not stand for it. Like a lot of these shows do. I never saw the proof Jeremy did, but I took him at his word for it. So I backed away. I kept watching Jeremy. I even helped Jeremy with his channel a couple of times when I was out there. And sorry, I'm just trying to get all this stuff. And if you see, I did help out Jeremy. Because the one time was when I was out there with Jeremy, I sent him money, told him get some batteries for us because we're going to need them. He never got them. I blew it off. I think the next time I even helped him for gas. So that's helping him in his channel. No problem. I'd help him. He did things different. I didn't care. That's why I always try to walk away. Because I'd rather be able to listen to stuff and be able to know and keep my senses on high so I can figure out what's going on around me instead of having all the background noise. Well, when me and Jeremy was out there and we found that boneyard, he got spooked. But when we put up that tuna can, the camera, nothing hit that tuna can. We come back out a couple of days later, remove the camera, and all of it been changed. Well, something wasn't right about it. To me, that spoke that somebody else did that. And I was thinking Jeremy had to do it. Because that looking like a gargoyle figure with those bones collected, that's more human. Because if you think about it, all the boneyards that's been found by others, and if they went back, there was nothing else ever found. It was just bones. But yet, I let it slide. I kept my mouth shut because I needed more evidence. because you never know. But when Vault came out there that second time we were on that hill, and Jeremy got kicked off of his TikTok because Vault showed that knife. Mr. Danny sat there trying to talk to Vault through his live. Jeremy got pissed because that was his bread and butter, was Mr. Danny. Mr. Danny helped out with all those cameras. A lot of money. If I remember right, even a generator. Along with other things. He was also going to give Jeremy a pickup. Then he was going to give him a 3-wheeler or a 4-wheeler, one of the two. Because Vault was going to go up to Nebraska and get it. But he talked Mr. Danny out of that pickup. He said, told Mr. Danny, don't give it to Jeremy. He'll just tear it up. He's got all those vehicles and he won't repair them. Like the pickup that Jeremy has. All it needed was a water pump. 2-hour job, easily fixed. Now, what he did to Miss Wendy, that's fucking low. And I'm sorry to say, yes, I fell for it. But I didn't have nothing to, at the time, to counter Vault. So I had to take him at face value. If Miss Wendy, if you ever listen to this, I'm terribly sorry for taking his side. And Red Raider, I'm sorry what he did you too. I'm more mad it made you look at the rest of us as being enemies until you knew we distanced ourselves from Vault. I wish you'd talked to some of us earlier once you found out, because I always had my little hesitations. And the things he had done to me by scamming me, I thought I had a friend. And once everything came out, I was heartbroken. Badly. That it did put me in a dark place. That, along with other things been going on with me, it was getting real dark. And the only ones that kept me from doing anything was Bass and Truth, because they'd never done me wrong. They'd never asked me for money. All they asked for was basically be true to them and be a friend. And I will always stick with Bass and Truth. Because one, they've always talked to me about things and been up and up. In a way, Vault basically threw Truth under the bus on those last hoodies. That was not brought to Truth whatsoever beforehand. He just threw him under the bus right quick. In Truth, all he had to do something for himself and say, yeah, he'd do it once he got time. But here lately, he hasn't had time. And you can't blame him. He's got a new little baby boy, and he's been busy. Now, I will say one thing about Sir Cluffy. I'm glad he got it out there about Wendy and Red Raider. But the wig part, no. I still have that damn episode where Wig was confronted. I have it saved. I can put it up later. I even said something on uh, Cluffy's video of him. I said, don't trust him. There's more to that story than what he tells. And that little Tutti Frutti said he's going to come after me and Bass and Truth. No, he ain't got nothing he can hold. But I knew none of the lies he's been telling. He don't know a fucking thing about any of us. He can run his mouth all he wants. He ain't got no fucking proof. He wants to say, yeah, I bought my way in. Yeah, the fuck I did. Because Vault asked me to. So shut your fucking mouth, Wig. You ain't got nothing on me. Now, earlier tonight, after I posted this on TikTok that I was going live, Jeremy started saying stuff, sent me text on why am I doing this to him. Well, Jeremy, there's a certain lady that was one of your friends who helped with your show, who you made a stick for, one of those walking sticks. You were supposed to deliver it to her down in New Orleans. She's going to meet you. You kept giving her excuses. She went after you, and you made everybody believe that she's lying. But after talking to Mr. Danny, Miss Kim, and a few others, I saw the truth about you too. I thought you were straight. Mr. Danny helped you a lot. I mean, a damn lot. All he asked for was pictures from those cameras. All you had to do was send a few days, say, hey, here's all I caught. That's it. Mr. Danny would have been happy. Because he wanted to help you bring out the truth. But you screwed him over. You just wanted the fucking money. Just like Vault. Because when before, remember when Vault was with Lakea and the Dogman camps, we were getting some great stuff out of there. Couple of things I had to scrutinize. Like one, y'all remember the alien face up in the tree. I kept saying that's an owl. That looks nothing but pure old barn owl. But Walt wouldn't listen. Okay, so what? He's got his opinion. I have mine. I ain't going to fight over it. Shouldn't be no reason to fight over it at all. It's just opinions. But some of a lot of stuff, hey, it was great. Some great video footage out there. But after everything we've been hearing, it makes you wonder. He never owned that place. That was a rental property. Come to find out. You remember Z Wiki, one of the woods that was named after. She showed up at one time, and after that, we never heard from her. Never heard why, really. But it's supposedly that Lakea come on to her. Don't know, can't say. That was just what Balt was saying. Because Balt said a lot about a lot of others that he didn't trust, thinking they were with DW. Because he cost me a friendship with Barry Browning, because I was ready to do things with him. But when Balt was going to come down over those little stick structures, I was wanting Barry to come in with me. And Balt said, nope, Barry's been helping DW. So I distanced myself away from Barry, and that was my mistake. I shouldn't have done Barry the way I did, because I completely just cut him off with no explanation. So I essentially just screwed myself, because I know Barry can do some good stuff. His is completely different from mine, but so what? If he can get in those areas and get recordings on audio, that's great. But me, I want to be out there and be able to see it and catch it my way. Hey, Eddie. Eddie has basically been talking about Vault and what he's done to me and others. Because he screwed me, he screwed Bear. I don't know if Titan's in here, but I know he screwed Titan, Wedge, a bunch of us. But Vault getting that evidence out there is what pushed me to make sure we had the video and everything we could to get everything out. But what I love is he got me friends with all of you, because one, all of us in chat, talking, having fun, we did become a family that way. And that's what we need, a stronghold and be like a family and help each other on finding this proof on any cryptid. And basically, also with everything, everyday life. Because, like with me, I'm out here all the time on the road. I hardly talk to any of my family except my sister. And with all of you, you're my extended family. Some I've got to meet at the first Dogman conference. The rest I'll eventually meet. Like with Bear, I'll be meeting him soon once I get a full weekend up in Washington, because I won't be renting a vehicle and going to see him. And Blues, I'm not too far away from you right now. I'm in Maryland. I couldn't get that close to Jersey. No, I can't do it. But oh, there you are, Adam. Man, I'm glad you're here. Yep, that's where we all met. Blues. But like I told Mr. Danny when I was out there with Jeremy, he wanted to know how much money or whatever items I needed to help me keep investigating while I'm on the road. And you can ask him if he comes in here soon. He asked me, what money you need? What are items you need? Whatever, I'll help you. I told him I do not want anything. I do not want this to be looking like everybody else. That's why I don't put a cash app up, PayPal up, nothing. Nobody's money. Times are tough. I'd rather do it on my own and give it to you guys, and you do what you can with it. Because yes, we are family, and I want you to help me by spreading the word. I don't need your money. I'd rather you spend your money on your family, on making sure you're fed. If I ain't got the money, I ain't going to ask for it. You being here is a big help to me. My esteem, self-esteem, I should say. Because, like getting on with Bass and Truth, as to me, I feel at home. They're my brothers. We have fun, and we always talk. Well, Stacy is because I know how hard it can be for somebody. And I'd rather you be a part of it and be named in it without having to pay because you helped me get to the point where I could be able to put that evidence out there if I have any. Not by sending money. It's because we've been a family. Exactly, Adam. Is making memories. It ain't about money or nothing. It's just having fun, going. Y'all watch me and see what I see and hear in my voice of what's happening and understanding that if something happens, y'all can be recording and y'all can put it out there. Exactly, Duty Bird. When that was so full of shit, I knew that at the time too. When he knew I was been helping him. Well, like with Jeremy threatening a lawsuit on me for telling what I know, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. I done shown where I sent you money before. And after the first time is and second time, I said no more because I know it was you that told Vault that you didn't want me out there. Because when you was out there that one night, we was together, and Rick Dyer was in chat. I told you don't associate with that motherfucker. He's been a known hoaxer. And you sitting there talking about doing things with him? No. That told me everything I needed to know about you, Jeremy. And you sitting there trying to cover your ass with Vault on it. Blues, that was the same way he did Charlie. Charlie's daughter come up with that dog man that they were wanting to put on a t-shirt or a hoodie or whatever, and he made it to look like Cat did it. But when it was your own daughter, now, because once I found out the truth, all it did was make me madder and madder. And that's why I had to calm down for a while. Plus the things I learned from everybody else, like Stacy, Duty Bird, Charlie, Bear, Titan. Hey, give Colton a hug for me, Truth. But you know, there's a lot of these other channels that do good stuff, but it made me leery. Because, like, when Vault and Wolf were going at each other, you know, Wolf had some good stories. He had some good guests. Me and one of his followers on Facebook had a misunderstanding, but we got it solved. And once the shit hit the fan with Vault, Wolf completely blocked me on his channel and his personal Facebook page for no reason. Even after everyone told him he's okay, he's not with Vault no more. It's like, oh well, so what? Forget him. I ain't got to listen to his channel no more. If he wants to put me in that same areas with Vault, more power to him. I ain't got to prove shit to him. Because if he wants to treat me like I'm Vault, bye. I ain't got to support your channel. But everybody going after John Bell from PRT for not siding with Wolf. Love John Bell to death. I understand why he still supports Vault. Well, if he does, it's because Vault never scammed him, from what I know. He never asked John for money. But I understand the reason why. Because if you listen to John about his past of being a priest and everything, I understand why he is siding with Walt. He is not distancing himself from Walt because is his in his teachings to not rush away. Everybody claimed, oh, he's not being Christian then. He's not being Christian. Sorry, but even Jesus took up with Mary Magdalene and washed her feet. He helped others that were criminals. He did not leave them behind. He took care of them. And that's why I understand John Bell. I don't agree with it, but I'll stand by him on it. It's his faith. Because if you think about it, when it comes to prisoners who murder people, do unscrupulous things to society, a priest will still go in and talk to them to get them to confess and ask for forgiveness. If even preachers, you know, I cannot condemn a man that will do that for somebody because that's the way his heart leads him. But I will keep supporting John. John has some great shows because who is he associates with, I will not hold it against him. At least he's being honorable and being a true human being by caring for others who don't care about anybody else but themselves. Others may get mad at me for it. I don't care. The reason I did this because all the BS I keep hearing left and right. Because of like certain little fairy running his mouth. Go ahead, keep running your mouth. At least I can back my shit up. Because I'm going to keep supporting people who support me. And I ain't talking about with money. And yeah, Stacy, your mom getting scammed at $20,000 by someone. That's Charlie. That's very true. Miss Barbie Lou 56. Yes, That's all I ever asked for was truth. That's why I don't ask for money. I don't ask for likes. I don't care. I'd rather get the truth out there. If I'm having fun doing it, so what? Because no matter what, you're going to have naysayers in every social media out there that's going to call you bullshit on something because they weren't there. He did, but it was okay. We know that. Bear, I ain't gonna let them drag me down. If I drag them down with me, then it's gonna be like what was it in WWE, the old casket match, buried alive match. That's what it was. Gonna make sure I have the shovel. Yeah, that's true, Adam. But you stand there long enough with that horse, he's gonna drink after a while, unless he can smell something in it. Eddie, he did not own any property. Because you got to think about it. He supposedly owned property out in Texas. If he had all that property out in Texas, why didn't he just sell it and put the money in his bank account for him and Kat? He wouldn't have asked anybody for it. Money then. He wanted us to pay for his way because he didn't have no property. That place where him and Lakea lived was a rental, come to find out. If y'all remember when he went to that shooting contest back in what, August or September, something was eating me then. So I kept trying to look for it. I did not find anything of an Olympic shooting tryout in Colorado for that weekend. Stacy, I don't know. I don't know if he was that sick. It's hard to say. Duty bird, exactly. That's how all these millionaires do it. They don't use their money, they use other people's money. And that's what Balt was trying to be like. Kaylin Lee, exactly. We've always been a family. And the way he treated us by scamming us the way he did is is like being the black sheep of the family. He was He was doing it because we kept spoiling him, because we believed in his lies. And I was one of the biggest ones that believed it. Not about the Blackwater stuff or any of that. It's just mainly because going out on the farm and other places, getting the proof. And I told him that. I told him I don't care about anything else. I care about getting this truth out. Bass don't eat popcorn. You might as well be drinking tea. Don't forget that. And Miss Joanne, to me, I had to. There's only so much I could take. That's the reason I had to come out. I had to do it. Because one, if y'all remember that old Donald Fuller, I saw what he was running his mouth, wanting people to come forward to him so he could get the right authorities on it to go after Vault. Like he kept going after Vault over stolen valor. You, there was nothing Vault did that you could actually call stolen valor on. Saying he went to the VA or whatever, that ain't stolen valor. Going to the VA actually and posing as someone else is stolen valor. Wearing military uniform and saying you're in the military is stolen valor. Donald Fuller has no legs to stand on, and he can just go screw himself. I know he wanted this so bad, but he's trying to keep reaching for straws now. But to me, I'd rather stick with Truth and Bass. They don't do, you know, the investigations like I'd like to do, but we have great talks, no matter what it's on. Mr. Danny, he's offered me to come up there to Nebraska and do investigations there. And I'm going to take him up on it. And I'm going to pay for it with my own money. That way he doesn't, because I know Mr. Danny, yeah, he's had a lot of health problems and everything. And I don't want him to feel like he owes me for anything. I'd rather do it together. That way he's happy. That way he can put his name on it. Yeah, Duty Bird, with the Chris Kyle being a pallbearer, I kept my mouth shut about it because I had no evidence to prove that he wasn't or was. But once people started showing pictures and everything, okay, now I can go on that. Yeah, because I do want to spend some time up there with Mr. Danny because I want to be up there when they have the next powwow and everything and enjoy that. But I'm going to do it there and up in Washington and a few other places. Stacy, I wouldn't say it broke the vault's back. I'd say it torched the vault's vault because somebody brought a cutting torch with a good tip on it to cut through the bullshit. Eddie, uh, about Cat, I believe she did. If I ain't mistaken, I saw one of the little tags they use to get where they need to go, and it was St. Jude. You're right, Destiny. He never did say he was in the military. And that dipshit that kept claiming stolen valor, that asshole ain't got no foot to stand on. Now, y'all are free to ask. I don't mind. If y'all got some questions for me, please ask them. Because now I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to go in circles. Okay, see, there's Bama just answered it perfectly. He went to St. Jude when he went to pick her up. Well, Eddie, if you think about it, with him, with Blackwater, that was BS. Because one, Blackwater didn't get started until 97. That's from the owner's words. And they really didn't start getting big contracts until 98. Now, Vault, if anybody tried to figure out his age, he kept his age secretive. Because I always thought he was older than me. Come find out he was younger than me. That would have meant he would have got out in 94 out of high school. At least 3 years. Usually anybody, if I remember right, he said he went out after high school, he went strictly to the Marines, like he put it. So there's 3 years there that's unaccounted for. Oh, he ain't as old as you, Blues. You's old enough to teach Jesus how to pick a piccolo. Okay, Misha Kitty, all those shootings, I'm thinking that was BS there at the farm. Because one, that last night it happened. Okay, that night I called Vault. I told him I was going to go down to the farm. Excuse me, I didn't call him. I texted him. I said, I'm going down to the farm. Do not tell Jeremy. I'm going to hide. I want to catch whoever that is. I was told, no, don't go down there. And after that, there's been no other shootings. Because to me, that was awfully weird. They were shooting in every direction. Because remember, right? If you remember watching those live streams, there was times Jeremy was looking at those people in that pickup. They could see that damn light. But yet they were shooting in all different directions. Yeah. Yeah, Bass, no one approached us. They don't want that damn bubble burst with their one little guest. And Charlie on his father, remember what all he said? He had all these medals and all that. I went and looked it up on any medal recipients out of Mississippi that supposedly got those medals. I couldn't find any for that time period. Yeah, Adam, he hinted at it, but that wasn't his dad. Come find out, a cousin of his popped up on one of those in chat after Cluffington put it out that his dad was just in a National Guard and he was just a cook. Well, so the security guard part, yeah, but also I was told that he was a sheriff's deputy, but we'd have to find out more. Okay, who taught who to play guitar? Did you teach Keith Richards or did Keith Richards teach you? Hmm. Eddie, I'd have to look into that a little more. Adam, I am in north of Baltimore right now. Gregory, I don't know. I never got to see the place. And see, from what I was told, all of the property around his grandfather's place, the Corps of Engineers took over. So right now, the truck is doing okay. Still hate that it's a damn automatic. Hey, Miss Holly, how you doing? Yeah, it is nice. It'd be nicer if I had it all to myself. I'll have to fix that later on. Truth and Bass on your wrench. If y'all had gotten in before I had to close out YouTube earlier, you would have got one. Lot lizards. It's too cold for lot lizards. Miss Holly, how's everyone doing up there? Okay, Miss Joanne. Okay, but what you said about being in the military, expert shooter, had the highest record of kills. All right, for Vietnam, that man was Carlos Hathcock, known as the White Feather. That man was out of California, if I remember right. He had no association with Mississippi whatsoever. You're right, Miss Sue. Stacy. Is that why they use bookit.com, Stacy? Truth, I ain't seen him. I sent him a message earlier. He might be out with his friends. It is Saturday night. Well, you got to think when it comes to spinning webs of yarn, the ones that are always able to do it is a salesman. They lie to you through their teeth. Because one, you got to think all of us acting like being like a family, wanting to know the truth. So we believe the lies so we can find the truth. and get there and watch these live streams of being out in the woods and enjoying it and seeing what we see. Holly, yep, he did. Stacy, last time I ever saw one in a truck stop, jeez. Mm. Oklahoma City back in '06. And that was fun to watch. Yeah, the cutting boards. Yeah, we do need to go to that festival. I also need to go to the one Bryce is going to be at. He wants to start stuff on Facebook. I'll make him forget about that. No, Stacy, the real entertainment is when you see him walking out with stilettos on, with hardly anything on, and a cop car chasing them across a gravel lot, and them trying to run and trying to not step on any of those gravel. That's sad. Miss Holly at Jazzy never got all that stuff. She needed it. She deserved it. Because I know one, Mr. Don had sent me a knife and sent it and had given it to Vault to give to me, but he never gave it to me. You're wrong there, Duty Bird. Tank was using a 338, not a 50 cal. He only shot it a couple of times. The rest of the times I was shooting with 9 millimeter and 5.56. Yeah, I know, Stacy. That was woodworking skills for a seventh grader when I was in industrial arts. That's okay, Duty. Because, see, I remember when he was talking about that. I knew about the ballistics of what Tank was using. Yeah, Miss Holly, I know. And with him going down to Winona with Jeremy and going to that shirt shop and everything, having all the t-shirts made, it was like, Okay, that's great. But I never got my t-shirt because I've completely forgot about that. I wasn't worried about a t-shirt. Would have loved it, but okay, Charlie. Charlie, who you talking about? If she was his friend, she would clear the air. Who are you talking about? Oh, okay. Yeah, Bama. Well, I can understand why Destiny sticks up for Vault. Okay, it reminds her of someone from her past that she was close to. His mannerisms, the way he talks and everything. And it was someone she loved. And it's really hard for her. Chicken Man, uh, I'm thinking he jumbled up too much crap together because he wanted to be bigger than everybody else. I ain't doubting something happened to him when he was young, but, and he knows about them, that's one thing. But to use the Blackwater crap and all this, that he done this, he's wanting to get viewers. He's pulling a DW. Because remember, Vault helped DW write some of those stories that they put on Dark Waters Network. So it's hard to say. Yeah, liar is a good choice word. But when we had that farm, yeah, there's definitely shit going on out there. And if you remember how when Vault talked about, you know, we go into an area, we're going to do it this way, like a military unit, yeah, bullshit. If you watch some of those videos of us being out there, what I do, I took off by myself because one, Jeremy running his mouth on TikTok, couldn't stand. Because one, yeah, it's nice to connect with your followers, but to me, I'd rather get out there and just listen and be quiet and hear what's going on. That way, if something does happen, it's on me where I'm at. Because one, I'd rather been out there farther away. That way, if something happened to me, they could get away. That way, at least they were safe. Is the way I did it. Exactly, Adam. You tell a lie enough, it becomes truth. The way he said we lost the farm was this. Because when all that shooting was going on, it was because whoever shot was doing the shooting shot the bull that the landowner had. Then, when supposedly two heifers come up missing, that the landowner got his nephew out there who was part of DNR and out there looking around trying to find out where those cows got out, and they never found where they got out at. They just disappeared. But also, Vault said that one thing that Jeremy didn't talk about was Jeremy went out there at the end to go grab the cameras, and he took Jasper out there with him. He left Jasper in the car, and while he was down there by the lake or by the pond, Jasper come running saying, "Daddy, Daddy, there's a monster after me." Vault said he basically ripped Jeremy a new one for taking that boy out there when he shouldn't have been out there in the first place. Doxy. Well, Doxy, if you remember the first time I ever went out there with Jeremy, to me, I felt at home. And that's when I started noticing a lot of things. Like my energy level was way the hell up. I don't know why, but it was. And when Jeremy got sick, I knew I could just throw him over my shoulders and walk the hell out at the time. And the weird thing was, the way all those leaves were at the time, they were mashed down. It wasn't done by a horse's hoof or a cow's hoof. They were just mashed down. Because if anybody knows how hardwoods are, after those leaves fall, if nothing tramples them down, you are loud as hell. That's why when it comes to deer season, one thing a deer hunter hates is a damn squirrel or a rabbit. Because a squirrel gets down there looking for acorns, it sounds like a 300-pound buck coming through the woods, running. And the way those leaves were all mashed down, and if there were cows back there, there'd been cow patties, there'd been hoof prints, everything else, but there was none of that. It was just all mashed down. It was really damn strange. The only way to do that is if you run 100 people through that area and just keep walking and get it mashed down good. Exactly, Adam. You should not be bringing them out there. Holly, you're right. It is weird. I do miss how things used to be. With doing the dogman cams, watching those cams, what's going on. I do miss it because we were catching so much stuff and it was weird. And it does feel like we're spread out. Because, like earlier, I was talking to Chaos tonight. It ain't like it used to be. You're right, Sue. They'll never start up again after that bullshit. Because even like, the deal with Miss Wendy, Vault, I can't remember who Vault went up to there at the Dogman conference. But when Cat was away, he'd asked about Miss Wendy if she was all right. And that was weird. Because I remember hearing him asking. Because I wasn't too far away. But, even back then, we were catching some great stuff. If we had, you know, a team of us to go out there and do it, we'd catch more. If he got off his high horse, quit being a narcissist, if he never said anything about Blackwater, his dad, all the BS, we'd have a good team and we'd be finding stuff. Charlie, that is very well said. And that goes back to John Bell. John knows the person. He's not judging, he's judging the spirits of the evil that's controlling him, his narcissism. He's wanting John staying around so Vault can change his ways and be truthful. Yeah, I don't mean to be holding court shit. Hey, Graybeard. I don't think John's going to hold his breath because right now John's getting started back up and getting guests on. He's trying to do his own thing, which is good. I want John to be able to get more things out there again. He was doing so damn good before DW screwed him over. Because what was it John was working on before the last episodes? He had like three parts of it because I kept going over and over because there's so much information John was given, and it was so good. I believe it was Name of the Antichrist, wasn't it? No, I'm not talking about the Harbinger report. I'm talking about from a couple of years ago. I believe it was what he was saying what the Antichrist was. Oh, are you home, Bass? That's true, Wedge. Go where he's not known. You know, Doxy, on the Booger Valley movie, that would make a good movie, though, if you think about it. Going back to where Grandpa and the townspeople went and burned the woods down, that would make a good movie. Oh, okay, I know Truth and Bama has been going through the worst verse. Have you, any of the rest of you tried that worst verse here on YouTube? The stories. Come to find out, don't cannot know for sure. And we think that one character from the worst verse is being had a movie made about him. Jeremy, the main thing I'm saying about you is what Vault told me is that you faked all those sticks after he tore them down and burned them. That he got you on camera. and that he told me you didn't want me out there. Not only that, it was when you was getting shot at, I told him I was coming down, and all of a sudden the shooting stopped. And along with that, what you did to Mr. Danny, Miss Kim, they helped you out a lot. He sent you those cameras. All he asked for was pictures. You never would do it. He's the one even giving you that pickup. Vault talked him out of it. If you got some proof to show, please show it. Because I know even Vault told Mr. Danny and Miss Kim that you were going down there to the farm and you were faking stuff. Because even I was told that some of your subscribers on TikTok, you're supposed to send stuff to. They never got it. And they helped you a lot. Thank you, Charlie. See, Jeremy, I was never told that. And see, I was supposed to be on that lease. Because I showed footage earlier of all the receipts of where I paid Vault that lease. And the little text message about never sending you money. I showed picture where I did send you money, Jeremy. Because at one time I told you to give us batteries. So we have batteries for cameras and our lights. So that's going to the show, your live stream, your channel. So don't say I never did. That's right, Miss Joanne. You did send money to Vault for a computer to give to Jeremy. Jeremy, from what I've been told, there are people that bought stuff from you, like those canes, that they never got. Shirts, jelly. Yeah, because there's 20,000 between me and Bama alone. Do you still have that lease, that paper? Post it on your TikTok. Well, your name is the only one on that lease. Because Vault even said it on his lives and on with you on your TikTok that we were on that lease, not just you. And like with the new lease that was supposed to gotten, it's supposed to be just me and Vault. That 90 acres up there around Oxford, between Oxford and Taylor. I paid for that whole damn thing. I also sent you $50 for gas. Yeah, it's supposed to be a new one. Exactly, Charlie. Okay, Jeremy, if you can find that video of the lease, can you repost it? Because going by vault, he was supposed to be the main one on the lease. He was the one supposed to be taking money to the old man. Because I paid over $5,000 to be on that lease. Eddie, the farm was over $7,000 on that lease. The only reason I knew Roy stopped going to the farm is he got scared. Right, Truth. Eddie, that's what I was told what the farm was over $7,000 total. The one you might be thinking about with me involved, that was $1,500 for that 90 acres. And when I went to go see it, Vault gave me the, if something is said through social media about him, we lose that lease. Okay. When I told him I was going to meet him Saturday, even gave him money so he could go to see his doctors that week. And he meet me on Saturday at that new property. When I was ready to go to meet him, he said he didn't feel good. I didn't find out for a few weeks after that Friday night, he called and told Truth that we lost that lease. And he never called me or even had the balls to call me and tell me that we lost it. Okay, Jeremy, but the thing is, what about the other people? that say you didn't send them stuff when they ordered. Because like at night, we were all out there together around that one fire on that little hill on the opposite side of the pond. When you weren't able to get on TikTok, when Mr. Danny was talking to Vault, you was getting mad at Vault for talking to Mr. Danny because you didn't want to lose that pickup. So I never got to see the lease. I was just told that I was on it. That's why I asked Jeremy earlier if he could show that lease where he, again, on his TikTok. Because I know for sure Vault told me that whoever was on the lease, all of us supposed to have like a little badge or a little card for our wallet to show that we were allowed to be on that property. Mr. Danny said he didn't get a lot of stuff, Jeremy. Let's see who else. Someone told me. Let's see. Okay, one was Misha Kitty. She sent you money for some jelly that your wife made and she never got it. Truth, I ain't seen that one. So you saying Misha Kitty's lying? You saying Mr. Danny's lying? Tigel, if you remember last year, to get the farm lease, Jeremy was asking if anybody wanted to help. Okay, miss, so you have a good day. Thank you for coming. Night, Doxy. Exactly, Truth. Because Munchie, after the BS I had to go through, along with others through Vault, and what he'd done to me and others, And him and Jeremy being cousins, doing things together, that's birds of a feather. T. Gale, I put up $5,000 of that money to that lease that I gave to Vault. Exactly, Blues. Yeah, and there was another thing in that clause too on that lease, from what I was told by Vault. No, T. Gale, that lease was 7,000. Bass, he's talking about your transparency statement. That's right, Blues. Yes, Kim. Now, T. Gale, what you said about you believe it was 2000 Jeremy would help fix fences and clean up. One of the last times Vault, Cat, Cobra, and Jeremy was down there by themselves in the pasture. Vault was on live and Jeremy was in the background. Vault said he needed Jeremy to come over and help with a fix the fence. Jeremy would not go over there and do it because he was on his TikTok. Miss Joanne, he just posted it 7,500. Yeah, if you got a question for Jeremy, put it in caps, please. Hmm, nothing. So, Jeremy, when I was there for 2 weeks, nothing needed done. We could have gone out and done things then. But you wait till none of us are around to video it and show what we've been doing to say you did all that. That's right, Charlie, because Vault did ask people to donate to Jeremy. Well, Miss Melody, when Vault is asking people to donate to Jeremy, that's Jeremy giving the okay, yes, please donate. Munchie, the reason Vault ain't here because he hightailed it and run after the way he did to some women on his channel. That's understandable, T. Gale. Mm, hang on a second. Sorry. That's very right, Blues. Well, Jeremy, answer this. Since you said you were the only one on that lease, not me or Vault, why didn't you or Vault call me and say, hey, you can't come back out. Landowner doesn't want anybody out there but me. Have a civil discussion instead of just nothing. Because it has been said many times on Vault's show and when I was out there with you that we were on the lease. You never corrected me. You never showed me the lease. Miss Joanne, actually, on Vault's videos, I have them saved for the past at least 2 years. Because here recently, I just sent a few to Vault to Truth and Bass. That's right, Stacy. Miss Holly, you are not an idiot. We all made mistakes. Thank you, Lee Trecker. Not all the questions, Miss Kim, he hasn't answered. Especially, why didn't he just call me and say, "Hey, you're not allowed to come on the property no more"? That would have meant a lot more to me, getting it from him and saying, "Hey, here's what's happened. All the BS. You're not allowed out here, even though you didn't do anything." That would have been extremely understandable. Jeremy would have not been put under this bus. But see, when I pay for something and get told I'm on it, but nobody shows me anything, I have a questions. Somebody's fucking with me somehow, and I don't like it. And like before, when all the shit was going down about Vault here a few months ago, when all the truth was coming out about him, I quit talking to Vault. I backed out of membership and everything. Because when I'm getting told by Mr. Danny that he's been blocked, him and Miss Kim, then when finally calls me, I tell him I'm backing out because the way he's treating both of them, then he lets them back in. When his excuse of he's trying to protect them, they didn't need protecting. Okay, TKL and Munchie, you remember when Rick Dyer came into his chat and Jeremy was talking about doing things on him? I do, because I was there that one night when Rick Dyer was in the chat, and I told Jeremy, don't do anything with him. Vault even told him, don't do anything with him. He is a known hoaxer. And Munchie, yes, my beef is with Vault. But when Jeremy is associated with Vault and we all got tied things together, that means all of them's included. That's why I'm going to air it out. That's why I stepped away from Vault. Because one, if Vault's doing me that way and I'm not getting straight answers from Jeremy and he doesn't tell me anything when I've been told, yeah, I'm on the lease and all that, and everybody goes quiet, you got to say it from my end. I tried talking to you, Jeremy. You would. I did try to text you. Okay, DL. Well, what Vault did, part of it had nothing to do with Jeremy. But when it comes to the properties and everything, and Jeremy is included, that means he's included too. Because I was in the wrong for going with it. I shouldn't have done it. But I knew Jeremy had a damn good way to get evidence when none of us were there. And it was supposed to be all of us in on that. And when I get told wrong, then I'm not part of it. Someone's lying to me. If both parties are not telling me anything, then the other party's included too. Okay, TL. What I remember, when all of us were out there, it was said that we were on the lease, on live. Exactly, Stacy. True, TL, but when it's said on lives and nobody says nothing on the live to correct it, something's wrong. They're complacent. Like when all this was going on to get that lease, and once we got it, Jeremy was on Vault's channel saying, "Yeah, we're going to do this, this, this." Jeremy should have said, "My name is the only one on the lease." Because Vault was saying, "Yeah, we can do this. Every now and then we can bring people in, but we're going to have raffles." true, Jeremy, but you always knew that I could always come through a lot. And with me coming through there, even Bolt said I was allowed on the property by myself. You could have called me and said, hey, the landowner changed thing. He doesn't want you out here. Just a heads up, as a common courtesy. Exactly, Adam. It's a respect thing. Jeremy, there were times you said you were on this, and if I was around, I'd correct you, and you correct and said what I said. Exactly, Adam. You're right, Digel. But see, thing is, we all trusted Vault, and because we trusted Vault, we trusted Jeremy. If we weren't told something, we listened to what he said and took it for his word, and that was our mistake. Blues, you're right. You're very right. Okay, Tigel, you're missing one thing. Jeremy backed everything Vault said. That's the reason why. Thank you, Holly. Well, Adam, if this was 3 months ago, I wouldn't be this calm. That's why I had to wait a while to calm down to be able to do this because I was so pissed about everything. Yeah, Adam, and I don't blame you. And I know me. It's best if I just calm down for a while, then talk about it. Thank you, Bear. Jeremy, everything we did down there was great. I loved it. We was getting great evidence. We had some weird shit happening to us. If I could have been down there a lot more, yeah, we would have been doing things together. Because I had people to come help do it, like fixing the fences and everything else. Well, like you being busy with your dad, that's totally understandable. You need to take care of him first, him and your family. But from what I've learned from this, no, I'm not going to help anybody else do a lease. I'll do the lease myself. TGL, he'll never give us answers. He's run away from all of us. Thank you, Munchie. I hope, you know, with all the ones back in Jeremy. I don't blame you. I understand. I'm glad you support him. I hold nothing against you. You're wonderful people. Love chatting with y'all in the chat when I could. If y'all don't want to stick around my channel from what I'm gonna be doing later on, it's completely understandable. You want to distance me from TikTok? I completely understand. I hold nothing against you. I know where your allegiance lies, and I understand why. Because y'all enjoy Jeremy, y'all enjoy his channel. I'm glad you do. It's great to have people like you joining and doing what you do for Jeremy. I'll be glad to have you here and on my TikTok still. Because after today, I'm going to clean my hands of all this. Jeremy can go do his thing. That's great. I'll do mine. But from now on, I want to do it myself on other things. That way, there's no more of the BS. Because that's what the problem is. No communication, and that was all of our fault on that. No matter what. Communication goes a long way in everything. I just know what I was being told, and I'll just leave it at that. Because else I'll just be going right back around again. Miss Holly, you have deserved more than anybody the right to get anything off your chest and say what you need to say. And make sure you tell Jazzy, please get back on her stories. I loved hearing that one and hope we get more of Bass the Bigfoot. But Jeremy, I'm sorry things went bad with us, but from what I was being told was not to trust you. And that was from your own cousin. He said it was him that told me, and he told Mr. Danny and a few others that you were faking stuff out there at the farm and not to be coming out and not to be involved with you. And so I'll just leave it at that. You do with that what you want. Munchie, I do thank you for coming out and supporting Jeremy. That's why I got moderators, but I also told them we're going to have a civil conversation. Nobody's going to be blocked unless they get irate. Nobody's been irate. I'm glad we could have discussion and be somewhat civil, like we should have been on other channels. But Jeremy, I do thank you for coming. But like I said, I'll just do things myself. That way there won't be no more bullshit. And if it is bullshit, it's on me. And I won't have nobody to blame but myself. The only one I can trust is the few people I can. Well, Bear, hopefully I'm inside the truck stop for that. Blues, you know what? I've noticed that too. Charlie, I hope I am able to heal from this. Not only me, but the others that suffered from Vault. But if also you think about it, everyone, I'm not trying to give him credit, but what Vault said is coming together and just actually talking. Where before, if someone came in from a different channel, standing up for them, what would always happen? Y'all were ordered, we were ordered to kick them off and not let them talk. But I'm glad we were able to sit here and come together and actually talk. A lot of answers didn't get answered, but a lot did. Vault did throw Jeremy under the bus a lot. And I'm glad we did able to sit here and talk civil. But I'm fixing to end this. You will be able to see me probably tomorrow night with Truth and Bass if they're able to get on. And hopefully here soon I can have this a little more entertaining, kind of like the way Truth and Bass has their shows going with the music and everything. Well, Bear, I'm thinking I might do a little more live shows like this and see if we can get some discussions going and have some fun with it. Along with me getting back out in the woods and seeing what I find. Well, Munchie, I know one thing I haven't mentioned on here, but hopefully I'm going to get my weapons back from Vault. But Tigel, Munchie, and all the others from Jeremy's channel, thank you for coming on. And all the ones I'm friends with, Blues, Charlie, Bass, Truth, Duty Bird, Stacy, Miss Holly, Eddie. I think Blues Cruise showed up earlier. But y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to y'all. I think we're supposed to be doing a Rumble either tomorrow night or Monday. I can't remember. But talk to y'all then. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, forgot Miss Arlene and Bama and Wedge.